Okay, hey everyone, I am back, and what I'm doing today is getting ready for my next fishing trip coming up next weekend. So Brad and I will be out chasing yellowtail kingfish for a whole weekend, so I'm really looking forward to that. But as part of doing that, obviously I'm going over a lot of my gear. I literally had 3 spinning reels fail on me in the last 2 trips and caused me a big drama. So just when I said these Fluke Assaults were a really good cheap reel, I had 3 fail in 2 trips. However, I must say, I have thrashed these things and they are many years old. So anyway, rigging up some new reels. But the purpose of the video is to talk to you about the BARCRUSHER Eskies. These 2 here. Now, firstly, let's talk about the core problem at hand. I need to store a few different things. So bait, need to store bait. I don't really care whether bait really stays cold or frozen or whatever. I'm not too fussed about it, but you need somewhere to store it. And obviously cold food and drinks and things like that for a day out fishing. And the third thing is actually fish that you catch. Now normally the BARCRUSHER standard comes with an underfloor kill tank down here. But I have opted not to have the kill tank and instead opted for a larger fuel tank. So effectively a 270 litre fuel tank. And the reason I did that is because what I found is often I go fishing for the weekend. So I'll go to the coast on a Friday night. I'll fish all Saturday, all Sunday. And sometimes if I had a massive day on the Saturday, I would then have to stuff around going and fueling up basically just to make sure that I had enough for Sunday. And that's just a total pain in the ass. So with the 270 litre tank, now I basically fill it up at the start of my trip and I don't refill it until the end of my fishing. Even if I'm doing several days on the water, I haven't actually used the full 270 litres. So I'm still really happy with that decision. But of course, what that does is pose a few other problems. Now, to solve those problems of having somewhere to store fish, I optioned up to have these 2 BARCRUSHER Eskies. Now let's have a look at them. First thing you'll notice is they are quite large. They're actually very big eskies. Second thing is the way these open, like if you want to have it far enough forward so it doesn't encroach on your deck space too much, this will actually hit there. Okay, so that's annoying. If you want to use it, it's got to be back to a certain level where that can actually swing past that, which is like there, right? And that's sticking out a fair bit into the deck, more than I need it to. Second thing is, if you're using these rod holders here, which are critical to me, basically they hit on there like that. And the best you can do is line up your rod holder to kind of fit in between there like that. Now it still hits, as you can see. When I open that up, it basically pushes the whole thing around. Like, it's not the end of the world. You can slide this obviously, but all I'm saying is it would be nice if these opened up without sort of hitting and sliding and moving things around, because at the moment that's not actually strapped in. But when it is actually strapped in down here, obviously it won't actually move, so it'll be stuck there and you might have no choice but to move this rod holder. Okay, look, that's not the end of the world. That's pretty minor, but all I'll say is they are very large, and if you don't want them to encroach on your deck space, you've got to push them right forward. However, then you can't open the lid. So just something to actually be aware of. You'd have to unstrap it, pull it back to open the lids. Okay, so the second thing is that I find that I'm not actually using them a whole great deal. So I'm having food in one, I'm having bait in the other, but do I actually need these 2 massive eskies for that? Like, I mean, look at the size of them. They are large. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is effectively removing the eskies, okay? Because they are very large. I'm just thinking out loud now about options. So, like I said, bait, I don't really care what the bait gets stored in. To be honest, the bait could just sit in my live bait tank if I'm not using it. It could also just sit in a bucket under the back. And as far as keeping food and drinks cold, what I've actually ordered is a little Dometic cooler, not a fridge, but a cooler, the TCX21. Now look, it's a 21 litre, plugs into the cigarette lighter, low current draw, and I'm thinking I'm basically just going to run that all day. And these things, they're not a fridge, but I actually like that because the fridges are so bulky and heavy. I find them a total pain. I've owned a couple, I don't actually like them. So the TCX is about 6 kilograms. It's really lightweight versus about 20, 21, 22 if it was an actual fridge. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting that out of the way and basically sitting the little cooler under here, which is very small. It's only about 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters. It will literally stick out no further than this point here. It will be solely contained underneath that chair. And then I'm thinking about whether I need to actually keep one esky in there or not. And I guess it really comes down to, are you the sort of person that keeps a lot of fish and stuff like that? So if I had one fridge over here, which is a lot smaller, I'll have a lot more room in the deck, including being able to stand. So even standing behind the seat here, I'm completely under the hard top. And then I could have one large esky on the side for keeping fish. Or if you want, you could remove both eskies, but then without a kill tank, there's sort of nowhere to actually put fish that you catch and decide to kill. So yeah, look, these eskies are really large, and I find at the moment we're getting more use out of them, basically just using them for seats to sit on. And there are plenty of other seats in the boat, so you don't really need seats to sit on, to be perfectly honest. Like, there's so many other seats. We're generally up here in the hard top in the cabin. Occasionally we fold the back seat down. Now, like, if we were to pull them out, for example, not sure if you can see that, but like, there is a whole lot more deck space there with these things out of the way, like huge. I mean, it is good to have the ability to put things under there, and I definitely don't regret getting them. I think if you are deleting your kill tank, you really have to have something like this, and it's good that they do go under the seats. But yeah, I guess we're not using them anywhere near as much as I thought I actually would, so I don't regret getting them. I don't regret deleting the you know, the kill tank and getting the extra large fuel tank. But yeah, something to really think of, because, you know, to me they're almost a bit too big. Like, I don't know if they needed to be that big. 90 liters, it would probably have been better if they came to about here, so you could push it forward, you could open the lids, and also if you push it forward right now, like a long way forward, they actually encroach on your standing area, so your legs will be right against them. So yeah, I don't know, it's up to you guys. If you guys are looking at a bar crusher or any boat that sort of has options like this, you seriously do have to think about whether you want to get rid of that kill tank or not, and whether you're going to use two really large eskies like this. Now, it's not like there's a problem with the deck space, but I must admit I do like to have more deck space, and I like to be able to access the rods easily and stuff like that, and without the you know, the esky lids opening up into it. Now, of course, you do see a lot of people with bar crushers just sitting one esky along the back, which is also another option. You could just leave that there like a single esky, and you could use that as a seat instead of folding down the seat, and I think that would work absolutely fine as well. And I actually think one of these eskies is big enough. Like, a 90 litre esky, I think, is big enough for your bait, your fish, your everything really. And even if your food and drinks, as long as you've got them separated in some containers or something like that, they're not going to get all feral. But even that feels pretty good, to be honest, because you've got all this room now, all this length, up and down the side here, and you generally don't fish over the middle of the back of the boat anyway, and I can still reach the cutting board here fine. So anyway, it's a bit of a saga. It just hasn't worked out exactly as I thought it was going to work out. I do like having the big fuel tank, but I don't need 180 litres of esky space, and to be honest, I might even just have my little fridge under here, and that's basically it. I might just put my bait in the live bait tank or in a bucket. I don't really keep any fish, to be perfectly honest, so I release most fish that I actually catch. It's only if someone's with me and they really want to eat a fish or something, I'll keep one, but in which case I could just put one esky in for that trip or something like that. But yeah, I've got eskies bloody everywhere at the moment. So there's literally these two. I've got one there. I've got more in my garage. I don't even know what to do with the bloody things, to be honest. I've just got too many eskies. Anyway, keen to see what you guys think and how you guys have set your boat up. I notice a lot of people that are buying bar crushers at the moment are going for the eskies. I do think because they take up a fair bit of space, if you're going in a boat smaller than the 670, I'd really think twice about it. If I was going for a 615 HT, for example, I'm not sure that I would worry about getting them, because I think the deck space could be quite limited, anything smaller than a 670. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But anyway, hope you guys found that a little bit interesting. I'm going to continue getting rigged up here, and got a bunch of new reels, just these cheap Finnor LT reels which have a really good drag system, so I'm going to replace all my Fluke salts with those. And yeah, I'll see you out on the water very shortly when hopefully Brad and I actually catch a fish for a change, because it's been a pretty bad run lately, to be honest. We've been pretty bloody amateur hour, so yeah, I'll be surprised if you guys are still watching these videos. Just kidding. Alright, if you enjoy my videos, please hit the subscribe button, and there's definitely more to come, and some fishing trips coming very, very shortly. Okay, see you soon.